Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about Steve being featured on so many of Brewzle's videos recently. Yeah. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akley, as well as our special guests, Nate Weiniger, Steinkamp, and Darren McElroy.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey y'all.
Hey-o. So yes, I have to expect tomorrow, maybe when I log in, his social media will be called Steve and Brewzle. So yeah. I'm on there a lot. Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
Beka sees it before I do. She sent me over a text every time that's happened. So yeah.
You're gonna have to actually change your name to Brewzle Steve.
Yeah, Brewzle Steve. Yes.
Brookley.
So, there you go. So yeah, we'll get into that and what we're talking about. I think most of the audience knows I was on a long form video, but we'll talk about what's happening these days. We'll get to that after the break, though. For right now, Darren said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, sir?
So everyone in this call has been on barrel picks before.
Yes.
What makes a great barrel pick? And looking back at some of your times on barrel picks, what are your favorite things that come out of barrel picks?
The whiskey.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
And that's like small talk.
He's like dismissive of it, but that's a great answer, right? I mean,
it is, but there's more that goes into it than just whiskey.
Well, I think fun. Yeah, I think there's a fun quotient to it. You get the group that's excited and supercharged. For whatever reason that is. That can be for a multitude of reasons. I mean, it can be just you are drinking good whiskey and everyone's having fun. It can be, to me, maybe one of the greatest barrel pick experiences we ever had. We were on with the great Al Young, and we did everything as we just do it today. Unknown. We don't know anything about it. You have to list your favorites and rank them and all that. And Al Young was doing it, and we went around and everybody was saying their favorite as we finished it out before we did our score thing, and every single person said number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, and it goes for everybody, even Jason Bronner, number 5, and and then it was the last person to go was Al Young. And he had his paper turned upside down, and he flips it over, and there was a 5 on there. And I mean, that place went crazy. We picked the exact same one the great Al Young did. So stuff like that. I mean, that's creating a moment. That's a moment I'll never forget. I mean, so that can happen on things like that can happen on a barrel pick. Things that become a big time, one of your favorite moments of just bourbon in general. So yeah, I think that's part of it.
Ideally, especially for a normal person, it should be pretty epic.
Yeah.
For a normal person. Now, people that do it all the time, it's not going to just be some epic experience all the time, because that's just not.
It's not how it goes. Yeah.
So I was going to say the same thing, because it's so much fun to do it with somebody that hasn't done it before or is new. We picked a barrel for the investment team with Steve was on it, and it was a small veteran crew. And so it was just kind of down to business, right? Everybody just, all right, did their thing, and we chatted through it. But it's always fun to do it with people that haven't done it before or newer people. And what I love is when you're picking one with the ABV Barrel crew, or you're picking one with the syndicate members, who the person that screws it up. Because every time there's somebody that's going to screw it up that don't listen. Steve has got it down to a science of what you're supposed to do and how to do it. And somebody doesn't pay attention and then they screw it up every single time. There's at least one person.
Right.
Every single time. It's hilarious.
Yeah. If they don't play by the rules, then their score doesn't get counted. So they got to be there. But they had no say in that vote. So that's
some people still haven't been on a barrel pick yet, even though they've been on multiple.
Honestly, as a single barrel coordinator, I kind of prefer picks where no one knows what they're doing.
Well, sure,
because
they're all looking at you.
When all they do is come with excitement. It's actually one of the most fun ones for me personally, because they like every single thing that you're pulling out. They're so excited about every single thing you're pulling out. They are eager to listen to everything that you're telling them. They're less critical. They are just so happy to be doing it, that those are the most fun people for me to do barrel picks with, and this is not all the time, but usually people who are like veterans of it are just so overly critical sometimes that it's like, oh God, here we go.
Right.
Let's see how this goes. And it's just because they're not excited anymore. And part of the fun of a barrel pick is the excitement around it. And when people are just like, they're so pumped to do it. Like when we're doing it for like a business who's never done a barrel pick before, they like whiskey, but they want to do a cool present for all their employees. Like they're just so amped up about it, where, it's just people that do it all the time. It's just, it's another day in the office for them. And so it's just another day in the office for me, but when it's people who are excited, those are so fun for me as the coordinator.
Beka's point, every single part of it is exciting for someone who hasn't done it before.
Yeah.
Drilling into a barrel. Incredibly exciting.
Coolest thing they've ever done.
Yeah. If it's one that pulls the bungs, banging the bung back into the barrel, they love it. They love it. Yeah. Stuff like it's every
they get
part
to put
of
their
it.
cup underneath and catch whiskey coming out of a barrel.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is the freshest whiskey I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And they taste it. They're like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Right.
I mean, you can't beat that excitement with stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, but with what Darren's saying, just like the camaraderie with people and like getting to know people who are excited, like that should be the fun part about it, is hanging out with your friends and picking really good whiskey.
Nate, how about you, man?
I've been pretty fortunate to be on several barrel picks. I agree with everything that definitely Beka's saying too, with just the excitement piece. We try and bring members that haven't had an opportunity, or let other members rotate in and get that experience, because it's also fun to play off of their energy, first time there, all of those things. I've had some pretty epic barrel picks in the past with people in the industry, and Al Young, you brought that one up. One of the first picks that we did at Four Roses, he was a part of, and then going to eat lunch with him and just to meet him and learn about his history was incredible. I think another one that was very memorable, and we've had so many. But Heaven Hell, we picked barrels with Connor O'Driscoll, Bernie Lovers, and Jody Filiatro. That was a fun little experience when we went in there and did that, and they were gracious to come and do that. We do a lot with them, and we've done a lot of barrel picks. But I would say probably my favorite of all time is probably Limestone Branch.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fonte.
We were so Beam and Fonte, and we were the first single barrel from Yellowstone besides the NBA barrel. We picked the first at the 93 proof, and then we picked the first at the select, and to be able to go through that with them for the first single barrel that they offered was pretty cool. And we've done now. We were just there last week and picked another. We picked actually a single malt from them that's coming to Colorado, and I think it was our 18th single barrel with them. So
Wow.
Yeah.
done a few with them, and I appreciate that's one of the most magical places. If you haven't been to Limestone Branch, get there, get on the patio, smoke a cigar, enjoy some pours. They've got a great crew that works there. So,
Amen.
yeah.
We've talked a couple times about Al Young, and to me, when you're dealing on these picks occasionally with the elder statespeople of the industry, it's amazing to see how people react to these individuals. Al Young stands out because you think about it, it tends to be very loose. It's a group of friends that are there doing something really cool. If you're in a group that I'm in, you're going to be people giving each other shit. You're going to be loud and laughing and all that. And then you get somebody like Al Young strolls into the room when he come in there. Everybody gets quiet. It's like the principal has walked in or something like that, and all eyes are on that person. And you see that. I mean, I've seen that with Jimmy Russell walking into a room before, or Jim Rutledge. You see the respect that people have for bourbon and its history on these type of things too, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, and of course,
go
ahead. No, go ahead, buddy.
I will say that one of the things I got to remember too, with that joy and everybody excitement, we do have pretty strict rules when we pick barrels. So I'm sure at some times I can be a barrel picking.
You got to
kill, but just because there are some specific things of do's and don'ts that I 100% feel like you should do when you pick barrels, and you can really mess it up too if you don't follow that protocol. So.
Okay. Can you share any insight there?
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. Like,
what would be a rule?
Never ask for age proof.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Age proof location. It is like one of the worst things you can do, because someone's going to get stuck on the age, the proof. It doesn't matter.
Yep. Agreed.
We also don't allow things like talking during the initial process of nosing or tasting.
Anything can, even if you're just like,
oh, yum.
Right.
This is good.
That's bullshit. You shouldn't do that. It should be quiet.
You can't have anything that influences the other people. I mean, and that's I'm strict with those. If a member does that, they're not coming back to a pick. But we have really good members, and they've been really good at it and been able to pick some really good barrels. The other thing is picking barrels for a club. It's not always what I like. In the early days, I used to pick spice bombs because I love spicy bourbon, and that wasn't always what all the members like. So I have to just remember that sometimes the greater good of all, really looking at what everybody, and we have an equal vote, and I think that's important too. And remember that you're picking for a group and not just for my profiles that I like. And that's something I've definitely learned over time too. So that I implement on myself. Yeah.
Nate was responsible for bringing the largest barrel pick to our distillery ever. He brought almost 30 members to the distillery.
Was there anything left after the pick?
It was hard.
The barrel was actually empty. Yeah.
The no talking rule was a little bit difficult, I think, because there was 30 people.
Yeah. At the time, actually, it was pretty cool because at the time they didn't know what they were picking.
That made it really
cool. Before Hidden Barn had been announced, and they picked the first single barrels for Hidden Barn.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was, and talk about another great experience. Neely family puts it on too, and Beka's fantastic. So I would say, that's another place to stop in and do if you're doing a single barrel.
That was the hardest.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the hardest one because we knew that you were picking out. You were doing two, and I think that Stanley was doing one as well. They were there.
That's
and
right.
So we were
Stanley
trying to get.
Colorado
we're trying to get like different groups set up in different areas, and like we only have so much space as well. So we're trying to like keep everybody spaced out and tasting all the things, and it was an interesting experience. And we let everybody taste the absinthe at the end too, and it was really cool. It
went well. That was Camp 5280.
Was it?
Yeah, that was Camp 5280.
I didn't realize that was Camp 5280. I mean, it makes sense. Why else would there be 30 people here from Colorado? But you had there was a bunch of people there who had never done barrels before, and they were so excited, and they were just like that made it so fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was incredible. You guys did great for them, and I know people still talk about that, so I love it.
And of course, the best part about any barrel pick is you have the potential to pick one that is way better than anything that's out there. We've got several barrel picks. Yeah, gooey butter cake. We've got some that you remember for all time, or we've got one in the store right now that is from a distillery that's probably relatively unknown across the U.S., It's as good as anything and because it's a bourbon, kind of a classic high rye bourbon, I would say that I'd stack that thing up against any of these allocated things. And your Blantons of the world, all these high dollar things that people pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for. Try blind versus this one. See which one you pick. I think they'd pick the one we got in the store right now.
Bananas
It sells for $80. Yeah, Bananas Foster. I mean, yeah, what a great pick.
Yeah, those are just some crazy picks.
Yeah.
You never know what whiskey you're about to have.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's so fun. All
Well,
right.
Beka started hinting at what I was going to say for like my favorite part. Like the pick is actually stressful for me. I hate actually doing the picks.
Stressful, right?
Well, especially this weekend, like my first solo picks, I was like, this is kind of stressful. But as soon as we were done with
especially with your crew.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a rough crew. But the moment, as soon as you're done with the barrel pick, hanging out with the distiller, talking to them, trying other things that they have laying around, and that is really the part I enjoy. The picks all fun and great, but the post pick pillow talk, for lack of a
Pillow
better
talk.
term.
Okay.
It's like this, the stress, like all of a sudden, like all the stress of like, oh my God, are we going to pick a great barrel? All of a sudden that's all gone because now it's picked and like, that's it.
Yep.
Right.
And so, and that should be the kind of the fun part where it's like, oh, cool, we can taste a few other things they already have on the shelf. We can taste like this, that, chat about stuff. That should still be very fun.
Yeah.
That very end part.
Yeah. Well, there you go. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time for us to drink. What is everyone
We
drinking?
didn't drink yet.
No, we haven't drank yet. So let's
We're
start
just
with
fucking talking.
Steinkamp. Steinkamp, what do you got there?
Speaking of great store picks at the Barrel Shop, I've got Bare Knuckle
Okay. There you
KO.
go.
It's incredible.
It is. Okay. Okay. Cork pop just so. We'll see what happens. We did hear it, so we'll see what happens.
I'm
Nate's
on the
next.
board.
He's on the board. Nate's next.
All right, I've got another 5280 pick here. This is an older one, a Weller 107 that we did. Picked two barrels there that day, and this was barrel 306, which I thought was the best of the two, 310 and 306, but we'll see. That's
Wow.
my cork pops are pathetic, but
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
but my whiskey's good. Yeah.
Steinkamp's got the lead. I guess, Darren, you're still doing samples?
Yes, but I am doing one from Dark Arts. So
Oh.
I just went to Dark Arts, and this is a
Jealous.
sample of their Oloroso sherry cask.
Dark Arts is interesting because people are in a damn frenzy over that whiskey, or at least in our store. I mean, we're going to be getting a barrel pick in this week. That whole thing may be gone. So we're just going to get in the car and head back there and pick another one because we want to have some of this in the holiday season. So we're just going to drive back there and pick another barrel. I can't even believe it. Then we had one of our old picks left. So Darren has managed a shelf called the Favorites where we hold some stuff back and he throws it out there. We put it out there and threw it on social media today and it was gone in 45 seconds, maybe. Posted.
I didn't
Someone
even know
called and bought
Steve
it.
had posted it yet.
Yeah,
and
someone
I
called and bought
for
it. Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, oh. And then
At
I
least
saw it
30
been up-
phone calls after that. I see you got the
I-
Dark Arts. Yeah, okay.
I saw it
think-
was up there and it'd been 40 minutes. And I'm
Yeah,
like, there's
no,
no way that
nope,
bottle's still
no,
there.
no.
No way.
You waited a minute, you were too late. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Becca, what do you got there?
I've got a great barrel pick here. It's a Deer Hammer Hickory Smoked Whiskey. It's the Smoking Hot Corn, where Steve thought it would be fun to make my face into a corn cob.
Yes, and I'm on that bottle too. So you and I are both on that one.
Yeah, except for you look cool because you're fighting a fucking deer, and I'm a corn cob.
I have multiple of those stickers.
That I am a fucking corn
Yeah,
cob.
look at you.
Yeah.
I-
Smoking hot. Smoking hot.
I'd kill for my face to be
Yeah,
on the
I
side
felt
of
it.
the bottle
Also,
like that.
all Steve did was ask for a photo of me smoking a cigar, and I didn't know what he's gonna do with it.
Right. Well,
And I
that's
turned
on
into
you. That's on
a
you.
Piece of corn.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's solid.
Dang it.
That's our lead. It feels like it's going to be the winner. I've got Old Jet Brothers, a saw turn finish. We'll see. I'm last but not least here. Let's see what we got. No, nothing but squeak. So Becca wins that easily. So cheers to Becca.
Cheers.
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 Smoking hot corn.
Smoking hot corn. All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about my Brewzle fame. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Are you starting?
Yeah, of course. This will sound like good conversation for the show.
Jesus.
You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Making a damn bumper.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Steve's Brewzle fame.
Yes, we are. So, in August of this year, Brewzle released a video that he had shot in our store in June of this year. And things went kind of crazy. A bunch of people came out of the woodwork, both from a national basis coming into the store, as well as a lot of our local fans. I mean, it's amazing. We've been in business a couple of years. I've been in the bourbon game for almost a decade at this point. And it takes me to become an overnight sensation, like 10 years and a Brewzle video. So, people come out of the woodwork and come to the store, and it's cool. And, you assume that's it, but he's been slicing those videos up and then releasing certain segments. Like he'll ask a question and then I answer it, and he's turned those into shorts. And then it's three of them. It's, I had no idea he was going to do that to any of them. One comes out, then a second one, and then a third one. And so, yes, that's been going on this week as we record this. And again, people start coming out of the woodwork again. Somebody had a theory on that at the shop. They're like, a lot of long videos people don't watch, and maybe this is the group that just only has the attention span to watch a short. So maybe
that's the attention deficit disorder Brewzle fans.
Yeah, less
or
than
the younger ones.
Less than a minute. The shorts have to be. So yeah.
I would say the average age of people that were in the shop today was 35 on the high end.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But from all over too. There was a lot of people leaving town or cutting through. Like, we had somebody who was in Chicago heading back to Arkansas and all kinds of stuff like that. And from Iowa for a hockey game, a whole group of 4 guys. And, yeah, so it was a bunch of people from out of town in today. All Brewzle fans. So yes, and we have Brewzle on our top 10 customers right now. He's ranked number 10. So we rank our customers, and he's number 10, and people love that. They can't believe that. It's so weird to me because he's treated truly like a celebrity. I mean, they can't believe that I met the guy and all this. And it's, he's just a bourbon fan. He's just a normal guy, just a bourbon fan. He's a good guy, but man, in their world, man, he is a celebrity for sure. So it's been interesting to see those. I think I like them because I think I've come across pretty well on those videos he's been releasing. So I don't know. You guys see them, and what did you think?
Yeah. I think they've been great.
Right.
I know. I mean, you're right. A lot of people don't have the attention span anymore to just sit and watch a full, 15 minutes of it.
Right. Yeah.
And honestly, the coolest thing about the videos that he's been putting out, it's not necessarily about you. It's been you highlighting
Distilleries,
different distilleries, not Neely family, but
yeah, I believe me, I've got plenty of shit about that.
Oh yeah,
I think everybody you talked
me
about
My God.
included.
As each one comes out, I just get ripped my ass from Royce saying, "Why the hell didn't you talk about me? Do I pay you to do this? What? Why aren't you talking about me?"
you would assume as much.
Yeah.
But it
Same.
has been really cool that he's been highlighting like Dark Arts. He's highlighted
10th Mountain.
10th Mountain, Buzzard's Roost, and
Yeah.
like it's just really cool that like that's kind of what the videos are. It's like, have you guys tried this yet? And it's you and him talking about those, and like
Right.
a single malt. I don't like single malts. Oh, I actually kind of like this single malt. This one, I'd say it's worth trying. And so I think that that's been a cool thing about it, because it's not just you, it's you and focusing on some other really cool, not Neely Family Distillery, but other distilleries.
Right, I get it. Yes.
I just want to make sure that I add that in there. That it's well-known fact.
Yes, yeah. It is cool, and I hope that, and I think Brewzle's audience knows, none of that's scripted, none of it's rehearsed.
No.
I don't know what he's talking about any of that stuff.
You didn't even know who he was when he walked in.
Exactly.
Yeah, Brewzy.
Yeah, Brewzy. I
Are
call him.
you that Brewzy guy?
So yes, it's just, that's how we talk in the store. So I think that's why we come across well, because none of that is rehearsed. It's just, that's the sort of things that we say, and we're different than your average liquor store. You go into your average liquor store and start asking about a brand, they can't answer any questions about it. They don't know anything about the brand.
Never.
Yeah.
No.
We actually had someone in today. They were one of the last people I saw, and they were like, "Oh, you wouldn't happen to know what type of still they use or in this?" And I was like, "I do actually." And they're like, "No liquor store actually knows that information." I'm like, "Yeah, you're in a different place. Like,
Yeah.
welcome." They lived in Arnold too.
Really. That's,
They're going to be there all the time.
That's
So.
good. That's good. It's important.
And they did not hear about us from Brewzle. They were sitting in line, dropping their kid off at Fox High School,
Okay.
and saw
Saw
us.
the store. Okay.
Yeah, and finally decided to come in. So
That's good. Glad they
it's
made
just
it.
an interesting
made it.
experience all around there.
Yeah. So it's been fun to see, things happening for the store. It's definitely increased our business. It's increased our customer base, and it looks like it's truly grown it, where it's not just coming in the store one time. We're seeing these customers as repeat customers, which is perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
this is sort of marketing that would probably be very expensive to pay for, to get the sort of exposure that we've gotten out of that one video. I don't even know how much we'd have to pay to get that, to particularly targeted towards the audience that we're looking to sell to. I mean, this is the people that we want walking in that store, people that are passionate about bourbon. So it's been great, for sure. Well, Nate, have you watched these videos? He's watching them now, I think.
I did just watch them now, Steve. So
He's like, what the hell are they talking about?
Right.
I met him for the first time very briefly at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and prior to that, honestly, didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about him in the whiskey world. You know how I am with influencers. So
Right. Well, yeah, I certainly was the same way, but he's definitely different. So,
but that's I think that's what I saw. With there's people that influence because they like to hear themselves talk and promote themselves, and then there's people that move the needle and actually move the needle for whiskey. And he's someone that moves the needle for whiskey. There's no question about it. He's traveling around. He's investing in learning and knowledge and getting connected with all the brands out there. I mean, he talked about his travel plans just in
right.
Weird. I mean, he's driving all over the damn place. So I give him some respect for him, and I appreciate definitely him. With what he did coming in there with you and you working with him, and I know Royce did some things. He went out there, and I think he had a festival too that I heard was a really good festival, and that went really well, and that. Everybody that I know in the industry or business that went there said it was a great experience. So, kudos to him. And glad
none of that stuff's easy. It's not easy to put on a big festival like that. No. That's not easy to do. It's not easy to do all those videos and things like that either. You're like, oh, he's just having fun. He gets to go to the distillers. Well, I'll tell you what, you go out and drive around for 20 days straight and then come back, spend 3 days at home, go out the next 20. That's what he's doing. He's doing
that's no big deal.
20. Yeah. Go do that for a while.
I respect that because he's putting in work and he's really going out there and meeting the people and behind the brands and tasting and compared to others that just sit, behind a keyboard and
smile with the bottle, holding a bottle and shit. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah,
he's also going to like small He's not just going to like Buffalo Trace. He's not just going into Total Wine.
Right. Yeah.
He's actually going to like he like posts on stuff like, where should I go when I'm in this town?
Yeah.
And so it's locals or people who've been like around there who are like, go to this place. And so that's how he found you. People just saying like, go over to the ABV Barrel Shop.
Yeah.
He's not waiting for his VIP invites from the distillery and that they'll go and promote something or just go and be seen. He goes and does it on his own. In fact, I wonder if he even cares about that. I think he's pretty down to earth and legit from at least what I've seen recently and from just some of the things I've seen. So I think that's cool. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I like I said, I got a lot of respect for what he's been able to accomplish, what he's doing. And I, at the end of the day too, I like his audience. Some of these known influencers, and you hang out and you see their posts, and their audiences are just terrible. They're brutal. They yell at one another, getting in fights and all that. And his group really isn't like that. So it's cool. I think it's cool what he's got going on. So. We look forward to his next visit. Hopefully he comes back at some point. So, but it's been great for sure. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Steinkamp, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Investment Whiskey.
Darren.
You can find me on the Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures.
Nate.
So I left this out last time. So 5280 Whiskey on Instagram and Hidden Barn Whiskey, all one word, on Instagram.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. All right. Miss Beka Sue, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, and you can find me at Neely Family Distillery on all socials.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakley.com. We also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us. Be like Brewzle. Come by the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We'll show you why we are a cut above by allowing you to taste our whiskey before you have to actually shell out your hard-earned dollars to buy it. So check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Fartance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, all.
See y'all.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akley production.